Oh, well, hello, little sprite. It's quite a surprise to see you up and about this early in the morning. Usually you prefer to sleep in for as long as you can. Though I'm not complaining, after all. You never fail to keep me entertained. Me? Let's just say that I felt inspired to rise early and come take a look at the sunrise before the rest of the crew woke up. It is always spectacular this time of year. Seeing the colours all melt together until you can't tell where the sky ends and the sea begins. In moments like these, it feels as if we've left this reality entirely. It's beautiful. Quite the imagination? I suppose you could say that. It seems I missed my calling as a novelist. What a shame. Hey, little sprite. Would you join me for a while? The sun has risen, but I don't think I'm ready to return to my cabin just yet. And I wouldn't mind a bit of company. Especially not if it's your company. There you are. It feels like we haven't spoken in quite some time. With our journey becoming more and more perilous as we draw closer to the heart, it seems I have less and less time to spend with any of my crewmates. You've missed me, I'm sure. How could you not? And I've missed you, of course. Yes, you are my favourite plaything after all. I can't tell you how boring it's been to be so hung up on my captain's duties, and all the while you were off frolicking with the rest of the crew. It almost makes me a little jealous. Well, of course. I wouldn't want any of them to replace me as your favourite crewmate after all. Which reminds me, why are you up this early, little sprite? You must have known that no one besides the night watch would be awake yet, and he's all the way up in the crow's nest. Although, was that perhaps the point? Tell me, little sprite, were you hoping to get some alone time with me? No need to give me that look. You know I'm only teasing. That shell of yours is far too tough to crack so easily. I haven't charmed you nearly enough yet. Not that I mind. It's all part of the fun. I'll get there someday. So, what's the real reason for you being awake? I sure hope you weren't planning on trying anything silly again. I really would hate to have to kill you so late in the game. And the others would be heartbroken. They've grown quite attached to you. Oh. Well, good. At least you're not that foolish. Oh. So that's it, huh? You were thinking about the siren's heart. Well, I can't say I blame you. We're all beginning to feel it, I think. It's as if the heart is reaching out to us as we draw closer to finding it. It's supposed to fulfill all of our heart's deepest desires. After all, the greatest treasure that this world has to offer, no pirate can resist such a prize. Though, there do seem to be those among the crew who are more connected to it than others. Kane, Finn, Kappa, to name a few. Along with you. And myself, I suppose. Say, little sprite, do you ever dream of the heart? Well, how lucky for you. There is still so much we don't know about it. The siren's heart has been a mystery that us pirates have been trying to solve for as long as I can remember. It's said to bring great riches and wealth. The one who possesses it could well become the most powerful being on this planet. And yet, I didn't ever tell you why exactly I seek the heart, did I? Well, I suppose there isn't much harm in revealing it to you now. Our journey may very well be over soon anyway. And I think I owe you this much, at least. Do you remember the night I told you about my childhood best friend? Yes, Avery. I told you about how kind and beautiful she was. But there was a little more to the story that I chose to keep to myself that night. I didn't leave the town because I wanted to. I left because I had to. You see, Avery died the same winter that I turned 14. That town was rife with disease. It was honestly a miracle that anyone was able to survive there. Avery wasn't the only one. It felt like I lost someone new every other day. It happened so often that I became numb to it after a while. Though, I didn't even consider that it might get Avery. The way I saw things, she would always be right there at my side. Looking back now, that was pretty stupid. She always had a weak constitution. For as long as I knew her, it was really only a matter of time. And then, when it happened, when she finally got sick, there was nothing any of us could do to help. I just had to watch as she became weaker and weaker every day, until she couldn't even move on her own. I couldn't do anything. Nothing at all. All the plans we had made, the dreams we had of growing up together and pursuing what we loved, all I could do was watch them crumble right before my eyes. What's even worse is that she kept a smile on her face throughout the entire thing, right up until her last moments. I hated it. She wanted to pretend that everything was fine. Every day she would tell me that she'd get better soon. Every day she'd say, in a few years, when we're all grown up and we've discovered all the secrets of this world, we'll look back on this and laugh. She just wanted me to treat her the same way I always had. I couldn't even do that for her though. Not when she was coughing up blood at least once a day. Not when she'd become so thin and frail that I could barely recognize her. And you want to know the best part? That disease that she had? It was completely curable. It has been for a long time. The medicine to treat it is freely available to anyone with money to buy it. We just didn't have that money. Every single day, I would go knocking on the doors of every house in that town, begging for anything the adults might be willing to give. And every single day, they each turned me away. No one in that place had any extra money to help out a sick child. I originally planned to join the Navy so I can get access to a good doctor. But Avery died before I was old enough to even sign up. So I made a vow to myself that day. I vowed that I'd eventually become rich and powerful enough to prevent any more deaths in that town. That I'd gather enough wealth to ensure that not a single one of the town's people would have to worry about affording food or medicine ever again. It's what I've been doing ever since I left the Navy. It's why I became a pirate. And it's why I'm now searching for the heart. I don't have enough wealth yet, but if the rumors are true, and the heart really is worth so much, obtaining it will mean I've achieved my goal. I'll be able to return to my village with the money to save every living there. No other child will have to grow up the way I did. And no one else will have to die like Avery. I feel like it's the least I can do. After I failed so many of my friends. I've stuck to that goal for as long as I've been on the sea. But now I can't help but feel like I might be starting to lose sight of it. No, not like that, little sprite. I'm not that much of a scumbag, I assure you. I feel as if my heart is being drawn in a different direction now. There's something that I realized recently that I want. It's changed my perspective on things somewhat. Only I don't believe it's for the better. I'm already a selfish man, but this thing that I'm starting to desire, pursuing it would be more than just selfish. It would be cruel. Man, seems I'm in quite the sharing mood this morning. Consider yourself lucky, little sprite. You just got a glimpse into the life of the mysterious Captain Leon. Many people would kill for the information I just gave you. Are you falling for me yet? Well, I suppose all good things take time. Still, I was so sure the tragic backstory would win you over. Lying? Who knows? Maybe I was. Maybe everything I just said was a bluff to try and tug on your heartstrings. Guess you'll just have to figure that out, little sprite. Well, it seems that the sun has well and truly risen. I think it's time we start our day. Just because we're drawing closer to our destination is no reason for anyone to slack off. I suppose I'll see you around, little... Dreams? Oh, I did say that, didn't I? Well, I suppose. The reason why I asked is because I have been dreaming of the heart. Not just regular dreams, mind you. I think that the heart has been speaking to me. It's somewhat difficult to explain. Let's just say it's been guiding me these last few weeks. It used to show up in the form of Avery. It looked like her and sound like her, but I could always tell that it wasn't her who was speaking to me. I could just feel it. Recently, though, things have changed. It's not Avery who visits me anymore. Instead, I see... never mind. No doubt there are others among the crew having similar experiences. We all seem to be connected to the heart, one way or another. What it says? There are quite a number of things, to be honest. For example, the heart was the one that told me you were aboard my ship. Of course I'm not lying. Well, I kept it from you at first, but since we're having a heart-to-heart and all... Yes, the heart was the reason that I discovered you that night. I suppose it's fitting. After all, the siren's heart has influenced every step of this journey so far. Why would you be any exception? Unfortunately, I can't tell you that, little sprite. At least, not yet. Maybe, when the time is right, I'll reveal to you everything else the heart has said to me. But for now, it's best if you don't know. If you did, you probably wouldn't be able to look at me the same way. Alright, now that really is enough talking for now. You have chores to get to, don't you? Best not to delay anymore, little sprite. There's only so many hours in the day, and I can't have you just lazing around. Me? Ah, are you worried? That's quite touching, but I assure you I'm just fine. Although, I won't say no if you offered to console me via a loving embrace. Ah, you wound me, little sprite. You really do. Now, off you go. You're meant to be helping the cook with breakfast preparations this morning, aren't you? It's best not to keep him waiting. He has a reputation of ridding slackers of their fingers. And we wouldn't want that now, would we? I'll see you later, little sprite. Don't miss me too much. Hey, little sprite. I'm glad to see you stuck around for a second. Think you can do something for me? Wonderful. If you enjoyed this audio, let us know by liking the video and subscribing to this channel. We also have a Patreon for adult listeners only at patreon.com/Celesterra. There's a ton of good content over there, and I can promise you'll have a lot of fun. I may even be showing up there pretty soon. Oh, and if you want to commission your own custom audio, hit us up at anagami.com/commission. Well, that's all I had to say. Gotta get back to my captain's duties, you know. Stay out of trouble. See you soon.